Because the other part of the press conference that jumped out to me, and I think jumped out to a lot of people, aside from the deflection of the coaching staff decisions, was, again, Belichick was given the opportunity, Bill was given the opportunity to fully commit to Mac Jones as QB1 of this organization moving forward. And he did not commit to Mac Jones moving forward. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that. I was disappointed in that. I mean, did I think that he was going to be Mac Jones's biggest cheerleader like he was right before training camp started this year? No, considering how this year went, I think that probably wouldn't be a good thing either. But again, that's another opportunity to say, look, Mac and the rest of the offense tried really hard this year. We tried to make it work. It obviously didn't. That's my fault. I don't think that a lot of them should be judged. We shouldn't make sweeping judgments about their careers and where they are about what just happened this year. We weren't a good offense. That's obvious, but there were a lot of things that went into that, and it starts with me, that I put them in that position. Of course, he didn't say that because Bill, wouldn't take any responsibility, even though he said, I'm accountable. It was just lip service. If you want to believe that Bill was really saying that, go ahead. But, I just think it's Bill being Bill, that, he's Mac and the rest of the offense didn't earn it on the field. He wasn't going to fall on the sword and say it was his fault. And so he just sort of left everybody in limbo. But I will say this, I've talked to multiple players over the last week or so, talking about end of season stuff and, where the team is and things like that. And I got to tell you, the support that Mac Jones has in that locker room, is pretty unanimous and across the board. And I don't think that Bill is doing himself any favors by basically throwing Mac Jones under the bus again. And I can tell you that a lot of players did not like the way Mac Jones was handled this year in regards to the Bailey Zappi thing. I think even Jacoby Myers said yesterday about, the position again, because he talked about it after the fact, but again reiterated the tough position that Mac Jones was put in. I'd say that's across the board as far as the offense, and certainly some of the defensive guys thought that Mac was done wrong by the Patriots, and people didn't like that. And they're going to continue not to like how Bill is handling Mac Jones because they believe in him, and Bill's got to rectify that, or else it could cause lingering issues.
Let me ask you this question about Mac. You're going back to the Kraft meeting that he's going to have with Belichick. Maybe it's already happened. We don't know. Does Kraft get into that much minutia, that much detail, or is he more going to look at coaching staff, big picture, and not say, hey, Bill, what's up with Mac Jones? Does he get that granular, or do you think Kraft looks at it as, no, that's definitely in the coach's wheelhouse. That's his decision. My beef with the coach and my questions for the coach have to do with the totality of the offense that we saw. And it's not really good for me to drill down on Belichick on how he handled Mac this season and how he handled Mac with the press conference yesterday.
I think that Robert will ask some specific questions if Belichick just doesn't offer them up. I think Robert would ask him something along the lines of, why are we in such a different place with Mac Jones a year later? We all were encouraged by what we saw as him as a rookie and thought that was something to build on. Obviously, that didn't happen this year. Why do you think that is? And, what are we going to do about it? And Bill might just offer that up from the outset and just say, hopefully he realizes, and I know he has said these things to people. Is he going to offer it up to Robert and just be like, look, I F this thing up, okay? And I put the guys in a bad position. I put Mac in a bad position, but we're going to get it fixed. And this is how we're going to do it. Hopefully he reads the room, because that's what everybody wants to know. That's what ownership wants to know. And he just offers that up. But if he doesn't, I think Robert will ask specific questions about that. And I do think this is one of the ways that this could go sideways. And I was asked on TV last night by Felger, and it's sort of where, you and I have been, and, for a few weeks now. I mean, going back to the column that I wrote about the Cardinals game, that if they didn't win that game, there was a real sense that Belichick's tenure could come to an end. And that was people thinking, all right, if we don't beat Arizona, we could go 0-7 down the stretch, which would have been a disaster. That didn't happen. But I think that, if you ask me going into the meeting, am I 100% on Bill Belichick being back? No, I'm not, because it could go sideways. I mean, if Belichick just sits there and just goes, get out of my face about my coaching staff and my team, and, I won you 6 Super Bowls and stuff like that. Like, that's not going to be good for anybody. And the Crafts aren't just going to sit there and take it. But I don't think that Bill reads the room. He understands what's going on. And I think he'll be a little bit more forthcoming than he has in the past about how this team gets back on the winning side.